got in my vein, I never complain, I just want you to want me. Want you to want me. When your name is mentioned, go back or restrain is the flame I got in my vein. I never complain, I just want you to. The love for your name can only pertain to the flame I got in my vein. I never complain when your name is mentioned. I can't hold back or restrain. It's the flame I got in my vein. I never complain. I just want you to want me.
It's the Mop, not the Wack.
Want you to want me.
What's going on, good people?
The love for your name can only
Get on in
pertain to
here.
the flame I got in my vein. I never complain when your name is mentioned. I can't hold back or restrain. It's the flame I
It's
got in my
Friday.
vein. I never complain. I
It's
just
the
want you to
13th episode. Mopwack Morning Show. Fall on in, fall on in. Hit that like button on your way in. Speak, motherfucker, speak. Subscribe to the channel if you ain't already. We're gonna talk some shit today. Boochie Bear Brown. You did not let me down. I saw this shit coming a mile away. You couldn't have fooled me. Wack. Wack 100 has sat up there and wrote the motherfucking the Snitch commandment. Talking about the New Testaments of the streets. Nigga, that's a fucking 10. That's the 10 Snitch commandments with a bonus.
Quick fast without having to call you. Quick fast, I know just what they all do. But you can do it better, hey, that's all cool. Never seen a stop sign or a stoplight. I wanna see what living on the top like. You wanna see what living on the top like. Quick fast, I know just what they all do. But you can do it better, hey, that's all cool. Never seen a stop sign or a stoplight. I wanna see what living on the top like. You wanna see what living on the top like. The shadow men take me on a joyride. Look both ways wherever that I go. In case I run into you, I drive slow. I know your sex drive go all day. And we can road trip until tomorrow. Lights out for the insecure and self-centered. I know your heart won't be the same when I dive head first. I don't mind if I drown. In other words, girl, I need you right now. I said, the love for your name can only pertain to the flame I got in my vein. I never complain when your name is mentioned. I can't hold back or restrain. It's the flame I got in my vein. I never complain. I just want you to want me. Just like I want you. Just like I want you. Just like I want you. Just like I want you.
She needs me. I need her. Downtown. Me first. Me first. Me first. She needs me. I need her.
I wanna pick your brain too. I wanna get the brain too. Tell the truth, I might even stand in the rain too. Just to make you rain too. So your last one to recognize your worth. All good, I let him go first. All good, I let you go first. I come right after, then sec you round the curve. For your name can only pertain to the flame I got in my vein. I never complain when your name is mentioned. I can't hold back or restrain. It's the flame I got in my vein. I never complain. I just want you to want me. Just like I want you. Just like I want you. Just like I want you. Just like I want you.
She needs me. I need her. Downtown. Me first. Me first. Me first. She needs me. I need her.
Get on in here, get on in here. We're gonna get started in just a minute. Doing a couple of background things, getting shit where we want it to be.
pocket, watching movie, joking with the young and goofy. Scrolling through his phone and seen a Cuban link that's worn by Gucci. Fascinated by gangster shit and trying to get rich or fake it like you got it. So everyone double tap his pick. Depositing fake reality for salary, non-negotiable. Overdosing on sociable, quotable. So the locals know that his chain is a movie. That his bitches is bougie. That his activist leaning. That he really unruly. 27 with pocket money and 4 world rats. Ain't punching clocks, but punctuation on where the plug at. Dry snitching and fishing for likes with frequent visits. Posting pictures with burners for stripes and recognition. Flexing with 4 bands. He smiled for the cameraman. The Instagram his location. His followers tapping in. 3 enemies waiting. 1 bullet, 1 mask. Got his fucking brains blown out over 2 hashtags. You know.
May not always be around, but that don't need, I don't need you so bad. I need you bad. May not always get around, but that don't need, I don't need you so bad. I need you bad. But that don't need, I don't need you so bad. I need you bad. May not always get in line. But that don't need, I don't need you so bad. I need you bad.
Act jumped on it.
All right. We're gonna get started here, y'all. Yeah, man. Let's go and get to it, man. Wack 100 has written. I don't even know how to start here, y'all. Hold on, man. Let's get this. What's going on, y'all? It's the Mop, not the Wop. Back in here for another one. It's Friday. This is the 13th episode of Mopwack Morning Show. And today, we're not going to be here too long. We got two things we need to talk about so far. Boochie Bell Brown has finally, as the old white song goes, come undone. And Wack 100, he said, "Fuck it, man. I don't know what's up with this dude, y'all. Why I know what's up with him. I don't fully understand the logic, the mental makeup of a motherfucker like this. I just don't get it. I think it's some kind of mental health issue. But in any event, my boy say he then rewritten the New Testament of the streets. And we're going to react to this. What this New Testament winds up being, this New Testament for the streets, it actually turns out to be 10 commandments plus a bonus one, 10 snitch commandments. And, you know, there's a lot of aspects of the streets and the world of criminality. And I just find it interesting, noteworthy, and worth putting a pin in when a motherfucker who has grand allegations on their name that haven't been accounted for. I mean, they've been everything but cleared. Lies and deceptions motherfuckers are using. One second. The lies and deception that motherfuckers is using to try to obscure the facts to the mass. Well, I don't know what it is. I think a lot of motherfuckers are like me, where this motherfucker so you don't know what the fuck they got. Like, this is obviously a high level government operative, high level type shit. I don't want to get in their business. Like I said, I don't think I'm better than America. I ain't that foolish. I don't think I'm better than the U.S. government. And I know the way that he moved, the shit that he does. I mean, for years, I mean, it would seem this way, but now it just becomes more visual, and it's hard to deny or look at it any other way. That the only way you have this kind of confidence and to do the shit that you're doing is if you have the backing of a formidable opponent, if you will. We're gonna look at some today. Now, I know I told y'all about Los Angeles, and the incredible work that they do. And it's been a while. We haven't really reacted to anything they over there in a minute, but he does have some quality shit. The most recent one where they was talking about how Well, I ain't gonna get into that. Like I said yesterday on Mob Talks, we gotta do shit in the cold way. We can't be uh putting ourselves in the wrong crosshairs. Like I said, I ain't got no problem getting at motherfuckers that can be gotten at. Uh, but you can't use the platform of the motherfuckers you trying to get at them, because then, as the conversation we had about impressions the other day, that will be your reality by and large. But his handlers are what they are. They are. We'll just leave. We won't get into the ethnic part of it, but um, it serves the grand or the vast American narrative that we spoke of before as well. But without further ado, we're gonna get into this bullshit he talking about with the the top, excuse me, the 10 snitch commandments is what I'm calling it. He tried to call it the New Testament. And if you know anything about the Bible and all that I ain't gonna turn this into that. Maybe we'll do a Sunday stream where we get go, nah, I don't, we just not gonna do that. But what we are gonna do, let's watch this OG, triple OG from the Pacoima Pie Rules. Let's get his what he's calling. Now I just want to say this again. I'm calling these the 10 snitch commandments. And he's calling these the New Testament to the streets. And y'all just tell me what y'all think. Let's go. What? Let's go.
And his narrative is if people like you, then you ain't that. And he right. Now I'm not gonna say he ain't that, but I know the dude. I got some respect for the dude, so I just won't disrespect his name. Now Gunner, I'll call him a rat. Thug, I'll tell you what he did in the interrogation room is against the rules. He shouldn't have did it. He said too much, did too much. There's no explanation for that. He's dead wrong. But I won't disrespect his name because, that's my partner, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my partner. I ain't gonna even sit here and lie.
That ain't your motherfucking partner. That ain't your motherfucking partner. My bad, y'all. Hit the wrong planet. But that ain't your motherfucking partner, dog. That's Birdman's partner. And we know how that shit go. I'm trying to let him cook, let him get to what he getting to, but I just want to stop the lies before we get there. Now, with all this, I'm not hearing no kind of defense of Young Thug. I've never been in defense of him in any way. I liked it to see him down there stand down and shit and do what he's supposed to do, but I've never been a fan of his artistry or his character, or at least the persona, the imagery. And I know people that was around him up close that's they done went down for Rico and shit, and this ain't got nothing to do with him, but I'm saying that to underscore I do know that it motherfucker like, nah, he really a gangster. He one of them type shit. I just can't buy it above it. And it be respectable motherfuckers that you know what I mean? I be like, bro, you for real? They like, bro, you get all right? But nah, man, I ain't never about that shit. So when the shit came out and flipped around, and it's like, oh, this motherfucker, out of all this shit, the motherfucker that wear fingernails and dresses is is the solidest motherfucker out the shit. I looked at it as in a twisted kind of way, as like in the through the clusterfuck that it is on a motherfucker's mind. Yeah, who would imagine? But not me. Time shows and tells, and we still don't really. I mean, I've never watched the videos. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I seen enough to say, oh, okay. I don't need to see. I'm not interested in seeing anymore because, like I said, I wasn't gonna be picking up the Young Thug's next album. Same with Gunna. I had the surface level of what the fuck he had done, and I knew enough about that to draw a conclusion, and that's been what it was. And even still, I never was a big Gunna fan. And look at all these motherfuckers. Yeah, man, the shit don't be surprising me, but that's not what we are here about. I just wanted to stop that in his tracks because Wack's sitting there lying talking about, oh, Gunna my partner. Nah, that ain't your partner. Birdman got his hands in his pocket still, and you need to make sure that it's good for you to speak like that, or you ain't made sure it was good to speak like that, so you just withholding your judgment right now. Same thing you did with BG, same thing you did with man, let's go.
Am I selected politics? A little bit. I'm not telling you, no, that ain't what it is. But I'm not going to disrespect my man's name. I hope Thug would understand that. So, today, we coming up with the New Testament. What we feel the new rules of the street should be. And I expect all of y'all to make this go viral, right? Because, we look.
That'd be the other thing. This how you know motherfuckers be having secret, be up to some secret shit, man. Because the whole point of that shit was to get me to do what I'm doing right now. I'm not gonna do it the way you want me to do it, but it's to get motherfuckers to do exactly what they doing. To talk about this nonsense that you just put out there. Cause you know what? Alright. As I'm thinking about, as I'm reading this shit, I'm like, man, should we even react to this shit? Or should we just, cause I wrote down the fucking commandments, cause originally I wasn't gonna even react. I was just gonna go through the list. And as I'm thinking about this shit, maybe that's what we should do. Maybe we're gonna let them talk, cause I want to chop this shit up. I want to chop this foolishness up as it comes. Let's go.
We gonna go from.
But what I was saying was, the whole intention is just to get these bullshit ass concepts and ideas out there. And this serves two purposes. At least two purposes. This sets a, because Wack has handlers, as we all know. He has high up handlers. And the reason he's in this position that he's in is because he has that assumingly threatening disposition. He's a tough guy. He's the tough guy. That's the motherfucker that can have him to go do the gangster shit that they need done. Because they think he's a gangster because he promoted him. He got the image, how to make it look that way. And it's when you, first of all, you making that sets a strong tone for what these powerful people who have chosen him to do that, for how they actually look at our elder statesmen of the streets, are supposed to be from the streets. Wack gives motherfuckers the bad name. You look at everybody who's ever gotten into it with your J Princes, your J Diggs, your Big U's. There's definitely been some dorks and some clowns he got at, but by and large, the majority of the motherfuckers he get into it with and go at and try to attack be solid men, solid elder statesmen of the streets. What is his hang up? Why does he not like real niggas? What does Wack 100 have against real niggas? I could assume that, okay, because he not one, you done things that you can't live with or sleep with at night, like, the Wheel of Texas situation. But then it's like, maybe you can sleep at night because you ain't never stopped. Or maybe because of that Wheeler case, that Texas case, or maybe because, the trucking game that he was giving out was federally crime shit, and he came online talking about that shit. You never know what they holding over motherfucker head to get them to do what they need them to do. And I can't tell if Wack is just they got him by the balls, or if he really just like that. If he really just a whole ass nigga like that. I don't know. The world may never know, but cause I don't wish jail on a snitch. You know what I mean? Or cooperative. You know, promote violence. And there are boundaries to free speech in America. So I would just say jail isn't what I want for snitches. So you do with that what you will. But this Wack motherfucker, man, is a whack motherfucker. And as we go through this shit, I just want y'all to understand. This is the people that's paying him, and we know one of those is E1. And y'all should go look into who E1 is. E1 owns the life rights to Tupac, to Suge Knight, to I want to say Biggie. They also own the life rights to Martin Luther King, and they also own the rights to Peppa Pig. Like, it's some real shit going on out here. Right under your nose, but you can't smell it. I mean, you can smell it, but you can't see it unless you actually gotta look for it. You know what I mean? And a lot of times people be like I say, inundated with their own lives and the things they got going on, and it be hard to look down or look around. Motherfuckers be focused on what's pertinent and pressing in their lives and shit like that. And that's where motherfuckers like me come in, because I got a little extra expendable energy to figure some shit out and present it for us. But we've been going, let's listen, let's let him get into this bullshit. But I want y'all to understand the purpose this serves is to muddy up the waters for anybody impressionable enough to listen, because there are still people that think this guy is a gangster, or think that he's a street dude, or think that he is what he represents himself to be, though he's not. So there's a greater goal with that. There's that goal. And like I say, you do a great job to make elder gentlemen look crazy. But let's go, y'all.
1 to 10 with a bonus one. That last one, a lot of y'all probably ain't gonna like. But some of y'all old school dudes ain't gonna like. Let's start with number 1. New Testament rules of the street, number 1. You can snitch on somebody who snitched on you first.
You see what I mean? It's like, he could be clip farming, but this ain't the shit to clip farm. You say, so first of all, as soon as a motherfucker say, you can snitch, no, you can't. What are you talking, huh? You lost me at you can snitch. You lost me, bruh. What the fuck are you talking about? What you mean you can snitch? Okay. You can snitch if somebody snitched on you. So, and here's the thing: a person who's lived for 5+ decades, they should see this shit. They should already have this understanding way better than a motherfucker who ain't lived for 3, a little over 3. But if that's what bitches do, a bitch will match your energy. A bitch will do to you what you did to them. Let me pull that back a little bit further. As a real nigga, you can't make me be a bitch ass nigga just because I was exposed to a bitch ass nigga that did some bitch ass shit to me. I could be stupid, I could be foolish, I can be whatever you want to call it, because I can't rationalize in my mind doing some bitch ass shit just because a bitch ass nigga did some bitch ass shit. Because I'm not that. That's a bitch ass nigga. That's a snitch. He did what he told, or he folded, or whatever it was, whatever it is that a bitch nigga is doing that a real nigga shouldn't be doing. I want to pull it back, that a bitch ass man is doing that a real man shouldn't be doing or wouldn't be doing. There's no way to rationalize that by saying, oh, this lesser individual who vibrates and operates on a way lower vibration than me, if they do some of that shit to me, well, I'm going to get back at them by doing that same kind of shit back. Like I said, that ain't just snitching. That apply to anything. You get away from motherfuckers, you accept what come with life. Now, snitching and shit, you take your lick and all that. But in other applications where a motherfucker do you some kind of way and you say, well, and that's not the way that you operate, but because they did that to you, now you want to try to step into their shoes and do the type of bullshit that they do that you don't appreciate because you ain't fuck with it what happened to you. That ain't the type of person you is. So you essentially what the old cliche, you stooping down to their level. So that's what Wack, the first commandment, the first snitch commandment is, if a bitch for a man do something to you, a real man, that's bitch made, it's justifiable for you to do some bitch made shit back as a real man. Now, I just wonder if that makes sense to anybody out there. Cause I don't get it. I can't get it. To me, no sir. But this how he leading, and this motherfucker, I could say he's supposed to have over 50 years of wisdom to come from, to, you know what I mean, to cook from, and this is what we get.
Hey, that's the first new rule that's being proposed for the New Testament of the streets. Rule number 1.
What they got to do with that's applicable to snitches, to motherfucker. That's a notice how all these commandments will be related to snitch behaviors. None of, like, snitch activities and snitch conduct. None of this street shit will apply to anything outside of situations where snitching is involved. And you gotta watch people like this. I ought to do more than just watching, but for community guidelines' sake, you gotta watch people like this.
You can snitch on somebody who snitched on you first. That means if y'all get busted, dude come back there and say, hey, man, your man just gave you what? What? Play the recording? Yeah, man, you know. The guns under the seat was yours. You know, that was all his. Now, this is, you can say, what? Matter of fact, not only them ain't my guns, he got a stash spot up under the air conditioning unit.
Now, I don't know if he trying to be a comedian or something right now, but that ain't it, big dog. That is not it. What the fuck? Do that even sound right? If hold on. If a motherfucker, man, I can't even play with this shit. This is what a grown ass man who allegedly been a gang member for over 40 years, been to prison, been a mentor, all these different things. And you sitting up here saying this shit, and within one commandment, you done already said so much bullshit.
Listen, man, we just going off of what
we not going off shit unless I want to know who the we is. I want to know who's included with that we. Is it just you and your multiple personalities, or is it you and the department that you are delivering this what they call that shit, memo on behalf of? Like, who the fuck is we? Is this on behalf of the exposers? The exposers co-sign conditional snitching? Is that what the fuck we doing? Not we. By we, I mean yo we. Man, get the fuck on.
You see the youngsters gravitating to it. You know, this is from me, but it's what I'm seeing the youngsters doing because I'm tired of arguing with y'all. So rule number 1 of the New Testament of the streets, you can snitch on somebody who snitched on you first. Number 2, now I like this one. After 10 years, however it falls, with no incident, one can cross back over to being a civilian with no expectation of the streets or its set. Can't call him about nothing. He all the way back civilian mode. So if y'all want to go over there playing with him, he can treat you like a civilian.
I hope you mean shoot a motherfucker. I hope that's what you mean. I hope you're not making a case to say, oh well, if you've been out the streets for so long, then it's okay for you to tell, for you to be yeah, for you to tell, for you to be a snitch. It's like, I don't get it, man. It's like motherfuckers growing out of your morality. But then again, I guess if your parents is dope fiends and degenerate, deviant motherfuckers, it would make sense that your compass would be so flawed and fucked up like that. You get what I'm saying? To where a motherfucker feel like the older you get, it's okay to just backslide and go counter to everything you were raised to be. It's like, and now hear me out. When I say raised to be, I'm not saying raised to be a gang member or raised to be a violent individual or raised to be any of those things. I mean, raised to be an accountable individual who's responsible for what he does. I'm not old. I ain't been 10 years. I'm closer to 10 years from not having ever done anything that I am. When I sit back and think about it, I can't see what Wack's saying right now. No, nothing makes sense about what that motherfucker just said. Talking about if you been out the street for 10 years now, you can tell on the motherfucker if they come playing with you. So you was just fronting your whole life. Or I don't get it, man. Cause I know preachers that ain't these motherfuckers is weird. I know pastors and all people from all kind of backgrounds and shit who have lived lives different, way different than what they currently doing. You get what I'm saying? And the type of shit that Wack is describing a suggestion, it's not in their character. You know, I don't know a goofy when you see one.
911 operator. Yes. Some dudes are at my door. Do you know who they are? I definitely know who they are. They're from my old day. You know they can do all that talk. Again, this is the mentality that I think best fits the new generation.
How that best fit the new generation? You see this shit? It's weird. Like, this is your logic. This is your mentality. This is something that you sat down. At least you're purporting you want us to think that you sat down and wrote this. These are concepts and ideas that you felt so much energy or whatever the fuck the word is. You felt so much just behind this shit that you said, man, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to design the framework for the new generation of snitching so they don't have to go through all the things that me and my peers went through when we got called out for snitching. Even though your bitch ass still get to you still you have the ability to wake up in the morning and make videos like this, you know. But then maybe Wack's current existence is a reflection of what he's saying, where the streets not gonna do shit. But I mean, that would have been your era, not the new generation. The new generation ain't supposed to do something for you to you for what you did to your motherfuckers in your generation. So how does that apply to the new school when you the motherfucker that was telling 20 years ago in 2005 in Texas? I don't get these motherfuckers, man. Like I say, the shit was so much on his heart. This Snitch shit be so heavy on his heart. You know what I mean? He done wrote a whole fucking, wrote a whole goddamn Snitch doctrine. Talking about it's the New Testament for the streets. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Number 3, a man has 72 hours to take his case. If his action led to another man being arrested, if you left something in another man's car, home, without telling them, or that man can speak his truth, that means...
No. Now, this motherfucker, we 3 in. Now remember this, I'm the one that called this the Snitch doctrine. If I had never said nothing about this being no snitch shit, we'd be reacting to this shit as the new street commandments. But I want y'all to notice, we 3 into the new street commandments, and it's all about telling. Who can tell when they, all this shit. And look who we represent. Look, we'll get there. But now the new thing, the motherfuckers say, you could, if a motherfucker don't take their charge, you can tell on them and put the charge where it's supposed to be. Now, I just don't get it, man. Where did the gangsterism go? Where did the brute force go? Where did the I'ma do what I'ma do? I don't get it. If a motherfucker don't take their charge, you knew it was, when you signed up for this shit, if you signed up to fuck around in the streets, you knew what the fuck you was getting into when you got into it. Did nobody say, maybe they did tell you that you might not go to jail, because you might not. But by and large, you gonna go to jail and you gonna die. And you gonna die regardless. By and large. So I don't know where a motherfucker get in their mind that that right there should tell you, yeah, you probably, somebody's gonna snitch on you. It's a great possibility if you're doing something to where a motherfucker can tell on you. There's a good chance that somebody gonna tell on you, because that's just how life is. You know what I mean? You just be on top of your shit. So, you know what I mean? You can't, you know what I mean? You do your shit where you get away with what you need to be doing. You know what I mean? Moral of the story. If, man, I can't with this motherfucker, dog. If a motherfucker if you get pulled over, and I've seen this happen multiple times, plenty of times. Motherfucker done went to jail for somebody else shit. And it is what it is. We're gonna deal with it. Get dealt with. When I say it is what it is, I mean motherfucker gotta hold up and account for that shit. But this whole shit is weird and strange. What the fuck you mean? I'm gonna tell on the motherfucker because they not taking their charge. So because they not taking their charge, I'm gonna give them their charge. Now, bitch, you need to be more on top of your shit. That's why you don't have nobody in the car with you. You know what I mean? You said ground rule. If you got strong ground rules, you could avoid a lot of this shit. And you're supposed to, especially if you're in something dangerous as the streets. I would think that you want to have some fucking, you know what I mean? Because when you don't, motherfuckers will play with you however they want to play with you. You know what I mean? 10 times out of 10, a motherfucker put their charge on you because you a bitch, because they don't respect you on no level. And I'm not saying that to say that was okay, but I'm saying that to say, it's an old saying, you see a dummy, you bump his head. That's the way of the world. But let's go on. Let's let this motherfucker, this bullshit ass motherfucker finish.
You didn't use my car. You brought it back to me. I jump into it, hit some corners. Police pulled me over. Find something that ain't mine that's yours. Hey, homie, what's up with it? Yeah, homie, I got pulled over. They found something in my whip, something that I know ain't mine. Now, within that 72 hours, I said 72 hours because maybe you got to get your bail money, go bust a couple moves, do a few things, you know, get your women if you got more than one.
Man, look, that's the equivalent of, and my brother, when I came to the West Coast, long story how I got here and shit, but my brother, he popped up out here one day. Yeah, I had to go because him and one of our childhood friends, he's a RIP now. This motherfucker, he got caught up on they shit. And this motherfucker that called my brother from the police station with the detective talking about, yeah, come on down, man, they caught us. Before that, I had heard of this shit, and I ain't never thought the motherfucker would ever really do that shit. I know motherfuckers that heard of people doing shit like that. My name ain't really called my brother talking about, yeah, he say, they got us, what? They got us, come on down here. Hey, I say that to say, that's what this motherfucker is saying. He's saying, you supposed to go down there and volunteer to go to jail because another because hell no. How about you don't let nobody drive your shit? That's fair. How about, yeah, man. Now look, don't get this shit twisted. If a motherfucker sit up there and put their crimes on you and now you got to deal with all that shit, man, that's fucked up. And it's terrible that you got to deal with that shit. But that's essentially what it is. That's something you got to deal with. You know, it ain't no big deal when a motherfucker making $1,500, $2,500, $3,500 a day. You know what I mean? Tax free. You feel what I'm saying? You got to take the good with the bad, man. You know what I mean? It can't all be glory. For some, it's all rain, but yeah, it gotta rain sometime. So, you know, everything happened for a reason. You gotta get your perspective right. That's all I was saying. If do better. If you get caught up for somebody else's shit, do better. Do better. That's all I can say.
Get them, you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Sell cars, something, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then go up there and claim your stuff. If not, that man can speak his truth. Hey, man, DA, I want to talk to you. I mean, listen, man. Again, this ain't
Now, let him say it first.
how I feel it should go.
This ain't how he feel it should go, but he took the time to write out this doctrine. And he had to use someone's logic. He had to use someone's rationale on this shit. He's saying, this ain't how I feel. Bitch, you the one telling us. We ain't heard this shit till you said it. This how you feel. Not only that, these are things that you think are acceptable to do. You saying if a motherfucker do that to you within 72 hours, you gonna go tell on him. Because you ain't been in the street, because you haven't been a gang member, an active gang member since the day you got out of prison, which was in the 90s, you got the right to snitch. If this doctrine just so happens to catch on. And what was the first one? Yeah, if motherfucker do some bitch ass shit to me, I'm gonna do some bitch ass shit to them. Yeah, because you've been cosplaying as a real man this whole time. Let's go.
These are the new rules that I feel best fits the new generation, the New Testament of the streets.
I don't see how he trying to the new generation and all that. It's real, and it's sick because there's layers to the depths of what what the potentials this shit has. You get what I'm saying? It'll fuck up motherfuckers' minds, and it'll piss some motherfuckers off. A lot of motherfuckers who probably ain't got enough sense to not say something in response to this that would maybe put a target or a hindrance on them. This is that, man. This all is coming from the mind of Wack 100. Don't let him convince you any otherwise. Don't let him tell you what he thought out using his logic and rationale to say, "Nah, this is for you." Even though I've been telling since 2005, this is for you.
Number 4, if a man takes a charge for another man and they agree that the bond and the lawyer fees is supposed to be taken care of, and you breach that agreement, the man who took the charge can then cooperate against you. This is
What? So now you saying if your dumb ass get duped, if you let somebody convince you into taking somebody else's charges and they don't pay for your shit or whatever, now you got the right to tell? What is this motherfucker talking about, y'all? I can't take this. What are we doing here? What are we doing? What do you mean? All right. So, if you a dumbass, you can snitch. Got you. Let's go.
the new rule of the streets. Man take a charge for you. You get what I'm saying? Yo, man, take that, homie. I got you, homie. I'm gonna make sure your kids, everybody straight, your bills, attorney, all that. I'm gonna bail you out. You gonna fight it from the street, my word. And you take that. And that man breaches that agreement, then that man that took that, he can go speak his truth. However he feel he want to speak his truth. Okay? For those of y'all just pulling up, we are reading. We got the Old Testament. We already know what the Old
You broke the Old Testament, so you rewrote it as some shit you can abide by. You know what? Maybe this is a message worth doing. I think maybe Sunday we'll get on here and let me think on it. I ain't sure about it. Maybe we will. We're gonna let him talk. I know by the time we get to the end of the stream what we're gonna do or not.
Testament is. You know, if I got to go to the Old Testament when it comes to telling this, you cannot, under any circumstances, give information to law enforcement that involves.
I'm gonna say this now though. There's great nuance to what I'm about to say, but the essence of it, the New Testament was supposed to support or fulfill the Old Testament. So now, like I say, there's great nuance with what I'm saying, but that was what the New Testament served to do. So if the old, wait a minute, how does this support the old rules? How does this justify the old rules or reinforce them? Watch people like this.
Any other name outside of yourself. You cannot. It don't matter how it go. Nigga, throw something by you, seen him throw it, you can't say that. You got to beat it, fingerprint it. I don't know what you got to do. But these days, things is a little different. Gunner told he didn't tell. Thug told he didn't tell. Boston Richie told he didn't tell. This dude told he ain't told. Oh,
You told. Don't forget the part where you told. You telling ass nigga, don't forget what you did in Wheeler, Texas. Do not forget what you just did this past 2 years in LA, excuse me, what is that, Burbank, California, wherever the fuck Nojumper is. That was crazy work you did up there. You got some nerve shit up here talking about you writing the motherfucker that you gonna write the street testament. You mean the snitch testament. That's all it is.
OG, gangster from Santana down there, he told, he didn't tell, oh, it was this, or it was that. Oh, yeah, we see he signed the cooperation agreement declaration. So listen, but them dudes fall up under the Old Testament. I fall up under the Old Testament.
Then you don't live up to the Old Testament. You don't meet the standards that the Old Testament requires. You told Wack. You said they threw your Texas case out because of an illegal search and seizure. The documents explicitly denied the motions to suppress information. Didn't no motherfucking case get dismissed because you of a legal search? That's a lie. We know that's a lie. We've seen the documents. And how do you clear that up? You get a former police officer and snitch, Reggie White. Who did Reggie White tell on? Reggie White told on the grapes in Watts and Memphis. The whole Peter Roll Mafia, that whole shit, that was Reggie Rat was one in point on that. Yeah. I'm not gonna bring they starting to come up. Some motherfuckers are starting to come home now. It's been about 10 years, but a little over 10 years, about 12, 13 years now. Wack brought Reggie White on to validate and say and that didn't even really help too much because he get on there and Wack. Reggie say he had a $40,000 lawyer, which is what Wack told him, and then Wack is like, "Nah, I had a $400,000 lawyer." Okay. Well, I just find it interesting, as he say, yeah, the first time they tried to do the motion to get it thrown out, it didn't work, but they kept doing it, and then it eventually worked. Well, we can find the paperwork that shows that it wasn't thrown out. Why can't we find the paperwork that shows that it was that it wasn't thrown out for illegal search and seizure? Where can we find the document or the paperwork that validates that it was thrown out for illegal search and seizure? Especially when the reasons for why a case was dismissed there was options, and one of those options was illegal search and seizure. But the option that was selected for you was in the interest of justice. Sir, you are a cop. You are a very dangerous man, to say the least.
This here, what I'm reading, is the New Testament of the streets. We on number 4. And for those that just joining us, y'all can go on back, review this, or I might go on through them. We going to number 5. Okay, let's go to number 5.
I want y'all to understand, Wack, the New Testament is the Bible. So maybe I shouldn't call it the Snitch Commandments. Maybe I should let him have his Snitch Bible. Maybe I should let it be what he wants it to be. This man has sitting up here and written the Snitch Bible and called it the New Testament for the streets.
Number 5. The leader or boss can have a paid fall guy that's agreed upon to snitch on to free himself. Y'all get what that means, right? That means, let's say you got a shot.
That motherfucker, that means the same dude, the rule earlier where you say, the earlier rule where you say a motherfucker, if they don't fulfill their end of the obligation of taking the charge of taking care of you for taking a charge, they can tell. Now you doubling back with this one. Let go ahead, say it.
I call her OG baller, big ball on the block.
Now you saying, so if you got money, you can have a guy that you gonna tell on when you take the fall. That's not a fall guy. You're not telling that. Excuse me. He's not a fall guy. You're he's a selected person for you to tell on. I just want y'all to hear the code. It's coded language, and he's doing it intentionally. It's just a minute ago, man. I gotta stop cutting him off. This is his snitch Bible, and let me let him deliver his message.
The rapper, whatever. And hey, homie, I'm finna pay you every month. $2,500, $5,000 a month. I'm balling. I'm gonna pay you every month, homie. But if I ever get in some trouble there, but run up in my spot, find something, I'm gonna tell them it's yours. You get what I'm saying? And this is agreed upon. Look, so this is the New Testament, the new rules of the street.
I guess he trying to talk about Rollo, who told on in other instances in that shit. So that's irrelevant. But to what he's saying, hold on, let's let him.
Street. This is agreed upon. Look, so this is the New Testament, the new rules.
So your fall guy ain't somebody that you gonna say it ain't mine, it's his. That's not how the fall guy work. Not typically. That's not how it's set up. Now, if you the fall guy, if you're the agreed upon fall guy, it may come up where motherfucker says that, but that wouldn't be the initial thing. You would think that initially, if there's a fall guy would come forth, right? If he's the fall guy, and y'all supposed to be street dude, it shouldn't even make sense for you to be telling to. It shouldn't even feel right. Give a fuck how much money you getting in some shit. Like, even if that, I'm not finna be the one to go down there and do that. If I got a fall guy, and that's what we doing, the fall guy is gonna come down here and take accountability for my actions. If that's what we doing. But nigga, at the point that you going down there and initially saying, oh no, this is such and such and such and such and such, come on. They no different than you at that point, Wack.
The street. We gonna get this out here because this is what's going on. People are being confused about what snitching is and what snitching ain't. So what we gonna do, we gonna keep.
We not confused. We not confused. You trying to confuse motherfuckers. But we not confused, Wack. We know the police when we see one. You don't think we know the, bro? You don't think we know the officer of the law when we see a fucking officer of the law? Boy, you gonna get somebody locked the fuck up. He fooling no goddamn body. You the police.
The OGs under the Old Testament and this new and improved thing we got going on.
And you ain't young enough because you an old motherfucker, so you don't fit into the new school shit, and you didn't live up or perform the way you was supposed to even speak or be mentioned with the OGs, old motherfuckers. That you didn't do what you was supposed to be doing. You been snitch. You been out here working with the police. You been out here working with the police for the last 20 years, and now you want to sit up here and talk about you writing the street Bible. And you, boy, you can't be serious. You motherfucker kill me.
Y'all under the New Testament. That's number 5. Number 6.
What I will say is you are under the New Testament. You definitely under the New Testament because, shit, We'll get there. I know at least one of these motherfuckers that you said so far you already violated. That the public knows of. Um, we don't know. Maybe you told your brother that you was gonna that for him to take the fall when y'all was in Texas and you was gonna come back and get him out and shit. Even though that didn't really wind up playing out like that, did it, Wack? Yeah. Your brother wind up when he did finally get out. Didn't he wind up coming back out west and getting a drug case after that? Yeah, man. Let's go.
If you pillow talk with your woman or family and it leads to an arrest of an individual and the information originated from you, you get the snitch jacket. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Just if your wife name is Jacqueline Hernandez and the paperwork say Jacqueline Hernandez gave us this information and you know god dang well Jacqueline didn't know nothing about that move because it was 2 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't nobody but you and Jacqueline's husband. And they done came and got you, and the witness is Jacqueline Hernandez. You know Jacqueline's husband, pillow talk. Therefore, although the paperwork may say Jacqueline Hernandez, Jacqueline husband, your homie, you get the snitch jacket. Yeah, that's going on.
All right, Officer Cash Jones, you finally came with one commandment, was scripture, whatever, that's worthwhile. But here's the thing. That ain't nothing new. Bitch, this is a weird ass motherfucker. You so fucking weird. So now that ain't no newfound prophecy. That ain't no revelation. Now I fuck with that because that's common sense. If your bitch is if your bitch is the one that took the stand, or your mama the one that took the stand, or your cousin, your auntie, or whoever the fuck it is that's related to you that only know you and they don't know me, and they took the stand and they able to tell information about something that went on that only me and you would know, that ain't no, as Sharp would say, that's not a Boston baked bean secret. Or that ain't no whatever the fuck he be said. That ain't no Bush baked bean secret. That ain't, you not throwing out no revelation, nigga. That's common sense. I came with this motherfucker, but I give him that I give him half a credit for that. But you really don't get nothing, because no, you get nothing. You lose. You get nothing. Leave.
You too. Yeah, this is the New Testament of the streets. Number 7. If your spouse, husband or wife, boyfriend or girlfriend, or non-street individual calls the police, you can deal with it as a civilian and give statements to defend yourself.
This is what's in his heart, man. This is in his heart. This is what he feels, right? This makes sense to him. He aspires. Well, he's done it. He's more than aspiring to do it. He's living it out. But he's aspiring to, or he wants you to think at least, that he's aspiring to be a fucking, I don't know what you call it, but working with the police, goddamn. He aspires to, in any capacity, find a way to, you know what I mean, have dealings with law enforcement. I don't know why. I don't fucking know, bro. I could not tell you. I say it might go back to something that happened with him and his uncle or his parents. You never fucking know. I don't know what makes people weird. You know what I mean? I could just call it out and identify it, give my perspective on it, but I could never rationalize or fully put myself in the mind of why a sucker thinks the way a sucker does. I just can't. Let's go.
Hey, look, man, we see a lot of dude didn't gang bang. That was this. Yo, he gave a statement on his wife. Wife done busted him in the mouth. He done did something. She done got up there and said, okay.
Why your wife busting you in the mouth, gangster? Hey, nah, let me pull it back. You know, it's gangster ass bitches out there, but they don't give two fucks by how tough a gangster you is. I do know that, but with that being said, what you calling the police for? I get the fuck away from them, or you get busy. You motherfucker put their hands on you, you put your hands back. So now I don't get it, man. These motherfuckers is real strange, man. Peculiar and unfamiliar. You know what I mean? As some people say, motherfucker looking funny in the light. Diamonds clouded in a motherfucker. Ain't no way that's a diamond. So, yeah, man. Let me say this. First, I'll say this. As a rapper, he once said, he said, the line, something happened to the motherfucker. So yeah, that's what you get for hanging around motherfuckers that's not pimping. Now, he's a pimp. But it's applicable to whatever your field is. If you in the streets, let's say you a hustler or some shit, and you hang around motherfuckers that don't hustle. You hang around all kinds of square motherfuckers, people who live different lifestyles that's not in accordance to the lifestyle that you live. What you see is okay. You know what I mean? All those type of things can be significantly conflicting. You get what I mean? And that's why it's best for you to stay away from motherfucker to be in the Bible, and it's often misquoted and misstated, but talking about motherfuckers going, how can two walk and if they on two different paths? I meant to shit out that scripture. But I didn't want to tell the bull, like, use the fucked up version that's out there that people take for like something that actually, the equally yoked shit, it's not even a real thing. It's not even in the Bible the way that it's stated to be in the Bible. But how can two people walk unless they have the same beliefs? You get what I'm saying? So whatever comes from that, I say nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? People make mistakes and shit, but it's 2025. We got the internet, we got TV, we got all these different things, man. You should be able to learn from a lot of fools to not make mistakes. You know what I mean? Make less mistakes. We all gonna make mistakes. It'd be foolish to even say that shit, man. I made a mistake at the beginning of the stream. You know what I mean? We gonna make mistakes, but you should be learning from when you see this shit, especially when we live in a society where when things happen significant enough, they'll make a spectacle of a person who did wrong. So you have popular accounts, you know what I'm saying, of reasons why you shouldn't be doing certain shit. Like, you know what I mean? You in the streets, you want your sweet woman and all that shit, man. I hear you. And 60% of the time, maybe 70% of the time, it'll be perfect. It'll be just fine. It won't be no problem. But there's a 30, 40, maybe even higher percentage that you have to account and adjust for, that what you're doing is seen wrong by them. They see what you do is wrong, and that can end badly. You know, like I say, it's a large percentage of people, street individuals, got motherfuckers that's with people that don't come from nothing like that, and everything goes smooth and perfect. But I say this, I don't think I know anyone and I know a lot of people, met a lot of people that was fucking around, and they had a square bitch, and they didn't. That square bitch didn't ever do some bullshit that a bitch that wasn't square wouldn't have done. You know what I mean? Just some game goofy shit that might have sent them to jail, might have spoke too much, or might have, you know what I mean, just did some shit that made shit difficult. Not to say that motherfuckers didn't get through it. I'm not saying that, but I don't know nobody that that's one way and they dealing with somebody that's another way. Not just the streets. I take that into spirituality as well, and they don't have significant rifts and conflicts or events in their lives. So you can listen to this motherfucker all you want to. You say you with this bitch and she put her hands on you, and you can't put your hands back on her because she gonna call the police or some shit. Well, maybe you need to get up out of that. Maybe you take your lick this time. She done bust you all in your shit. So, well, I guess, so I don't get it, man. If a motherfucker punch in your shit, what if it ain't your girl? What if it is somebody from the street? I don't get it. I don't understand how physical combat, and I'm not saying this is for women, but just for non people that's not felonious, nefarious, and involved in the lifestyle of criminality. Violence ain't just for fucking criminals. Violence is for humans. In the Bible it say, man, there's a season for everything. There's a time and a place for everything, and sometimes you gotta get on the motherfucker ass. Your square bitch or your square friend or whoever it was that felt the need to whoop your ass. You do, hey, stop letting it. Don't be listening to nothing this motherfucker telling you. I say, that's what I'm trying to say. If you are gonna listen to what he's saying, you need to listen through what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying, not to apply what he's saying, but to apply what he's not saying.
Okay, I'm telling them, you got guns in the house. Police get there and say, well, she's a heroin addict. She's on crystal meth. She got crystal in the top drawer, in her panty drawer. You know it's hers. Hey, listen, if it's a marital spousal abuse.
Fuck all that, man. Look, if you ain't gonna tell the police where your shit at, right? If you was in school and you sold dope in school, did you go and tell the fucking faculty where your shit was at? What are you talking about right now? So my uncle, right? My uncle used to tell me this when I was young. He used to try to give a motherfucker a good game. He say, you keep the streets out your house. That's what he used to say. And I guess this would be applicable for motherfuckers who think that it's wise that I'm gonna be street and my girl not gonna be. But even with all that, you keep the streets out your house, and by that I mean, why if it's anything that should nobody know that you got, that should include her too. That should include whoever the fuck it is that has the potential. Anybody that got the potential to tell on you shouldn't know where the fuck you keeping shit or what the fuck you got going on at your crib. Especially a motherfucker that's as close to you as your motherfucking significant other. Don't you know the people that's closest to you have the ability to hurt you the most? See, but like I say, instead of him getting up here and using his 5+ decades of wisdom to try to give motherfuckers something that is really applicable in their lives without them having to change their ways and do some shit that they've, you know what I mean, they don't fuck with all their life. They've thought differently against it. Now you want to present some new concepts and some new ways to approach some shit instead of, you know what I mean? But I guess he can't give you the game that he applied because motherfucker, he told at every instance he had. So what the fuck you expect?
Or you get into it with your neighbor, regular dude. Hey, listen, man, you can handle that as if you are a civilian. Straight up, give your statements, man. Okay, that's rule.
Give your statements, man. Y'all hear that? My boy said, give your statements. That's cool. It's okay. Because because that's not a street person. So as long as it's not in the streets, basically what he's saying is you only have to be street. You only have to keep a gangster in the streets. Once you leave the block or once you leave wherever, I don't even know how to rationalize this shit. It just don't make no sense. So you only gotta keep it real around real motherfuckers. But if that's the case, then nobody's real no more. Everybody's just a sucker. Or just a world full of suckers. And why would you do that? Who would put you up to that? Cause Wack ain't no idiot. He's not dumb. This motherfucker, he got sense. Snitch sense, but he got sense nonetheless. Common sense. The shit that's very uncommon, he got plenty of it. Don't get this shit confused. He might sit up here and play dumb to y'all or play dumb to me and in a way to where we calling them out, but I'm also not foolish enough to know that or to think that a lot of that isn't intentional. But because the messaging is getting put out there, it needs to be countered. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, with the amount of wisdom that I know just comes with living that long, and you have to know the pitfalls of putting this message out there. That's why I say, man, who puts a motherfucker up to this? You know what I mean? It's like they do it in generations, and man, or just over time, slowly and surely, man. From the 50s on, you know what I mean? From before that, I said, man, I wasn't alive then, but somewhere between the 40s and the 60s is where they really started doing a number on shaping the mentality of our culture as a way to delete us or to deplete us or keep us in line. And just over time, they add more layers to it. It's a new angle. In 1960 or 1970, you wouldn't have. There was no need for an Old Testament of the streets, let alone a new one. You didn't need to come out with none of that shit. But then you come with that blaxploitation films, and, you know what I mean? And you just look at the decades and the time, and you just walk through it, and you see what they do and how they do it to mold and shape and shift the mentality of a people. And I'm speaking to our people right now, but it's all people. There's wheels in motion to do the same thing with the Indian community. With the Native American community, with the Spanish, with the Chinese, all those different ones. You know what I mean? Like I said in some of my first lives, the grand American narrative is it's grand and it's vast. And it's all inclusive in a very exclusive way. Let's go.
Number 7 of the New Testament of the streets. Okay? 8. I like this one.
Speed up. Gotta go clear up that shit in Wheeler, Texas. Gotta explain how his brother wind up coming home from Wheeler, Texas to a Fed case in Cali. Gotta clear up this shit with the 60s. Why was on the phone with Dale Dog, Monster, not Dale Dog, rest in peace, Monster. He told on Dale Dog. Why was he on the phone with Dale, Monster, the mother, the police and the Snitch, not the police, and Big U them case? He the Snitch in Big U case. Wack knew this shit. It's on phone recordings of them knowing this shit, and he still had Loose Cannon on the phone with him. He still brought Loose Cannon up there to nojumper to tell the story about the shit after he knew the shit was real, and he knew this motherfucker was working. Hey, I had a Rest in peace to my uncle. I had an uncle that was a police officer too, but he actually wore a uniform and a badge. And his wife knew he was a cop, and his kids knew he was a cop, and we all knew he was a cop. He wasn't lying to us. He didn't tell us. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that part. He ain't lied to us. We knew he was a cop. He ain't had to hide that shit. He was a man about his police work. Wack 100. Man, let's go.
Now, I likes this one. My main man Ghost come up with this one. Shout out to Ghost from the Exposers. If you vouch,
A team, there was a council that contrived this snitch Bible. You can't make this shit up, dog.
for a civilian or non-street person to be part of your gang or street crew, and that person snitch, you and all the people that allowed it also gets the snitch jacket. Oh yeah, let me tell you what this is talking about. See, the reason why jacket, you and all the part of your gang or street or civilian or non-street person to be part of your gang or street crew, and that person snitch, you and all the people that allowed it also gets the snitch jacket. Oh,
What? That's the new rule, huh? That's the new rule. Hold on. So, if you bring somebody around and they tell or they do some floss shit, then that makes you a snitch and not a dead man? I don't like this guy, man. I really don't like this guy. Let's go.
yeah, let me tell you what this is talking about. See, the reason why I like this, because this about to save a lot of them kids out there. A lot of them kids out there that's getting pressured and forced into gangs because people want them to hold things and do things and force them to do things. Let me go over this one again. This
Oh, look at Wack. So compassionate and caring. Man,
is New Testament of the Street, rule number 8.
ain't no way that this is the motherfucker that wants y'all to believe that he was out there doing it to an extreme level, to a high level. This the motherfucker that wants you to think that in the 80s, the late 80s, early 90s, he was out here on pure destruction. How ultimately this becomes the mentality. I just want to know how do we get from that to this? Oh man, these motherfuckers clowns, bro. These motherfuckers clowns. And even with this shit, he trying to say like, I guess he trying to say like a clown in that perspective. But I mean, I don't know what you did. I'm not finna sit up here and even try to juxtapose the question to even position the motherfucker to even try to incriminate themselves. That ain't what we do over here at Mopwack TV. That's what they do over there on the Hunted side. Wack, just I want to say just stop, but I ain't paid you a goddamn dime, and whoever the fuck has got you on their payroll to do this shit, they gotta be making it worth your while. They have to.
If you vouch for a civilian or a non-street person to be part of your gang or street crew, and that person snitches, you and all of the people that allowed this to happen, allowed this dude to get jumped in, part agreed upon, y'all get this snitch jacket. Oh yeah, because see what happened.
See, now we just throwing because you got police activity or snitch shit in your past. Now we just gonna what is a carte blanche, and we just gonna we just gonna muddy up and murky up in what's the term? Basically, you taking the meaning out of what it means to be a snitch, and you trying to apply it to shit that motherfucker didn't tell. To blur the lines. That's the distraction shit. It seems you blurring the lines on the you know what I mean, you blurring the lines here so it'll make sense later. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. You're not fooling me. Well, let's go. Hey, I don't think we're gonna get to Brandon today. Ain't much to get to. I think I'm just gonna change the title of this motherfucker to be about who it's supposed to be about. And we gonna go from there. Because man, what the fuck? We just spent, I know it's been it's been at least an hour, motherfucker. 11:11, make a wish or say a prayer. But I imagine I gotta check and see. We've been doing this for a while. I don't know if we're gonna get to Brandon, man. We might not get to you, Brandon. And for good reason, man. I don't wanna Brandon's such a bullshit ass nigga lying motherfucker. It might not I don't know. These two individuals, wouldn't now one of them be my grandma wouldn't let neither one of them in her house.
If y'all go force these dudes, y'all know these dudes ain't built like that, cut like that. Then you beat up on them.
And my grandma was a woman of God.
Then you tell them go put some work in or go rob this, and they scared to get beat up on. They go do it, get caught, and then they tell. And then next thing you know, baby Pee Wee Herman told, right? I ain't using that name because my nigga.
So you come from an era where nigga a lot of motherfuckers was getting put on against their will. you was gonna be with you was gonna be this. You know what I mean? You come from that era. And that's what I meant earlier. I was like, oh, look at Wack's compassion. Such a sweetheart.
Pee Wee from 40s, that's too close. Baby Cricket told. Now he in the county get beat up on, stabbed up, all this.
Pee Wee, I don't know what you got going on. Wack know what the fuck he doing. He getting at you. That wasn't slick. And I know y'all cool. I've seen it. I know y'all cool. But I ain't seen a motherfucker Wack been cool with yet. I haven't seen a motherfucker close to Wack yet that didn't ultimately come out to be his enemy. Even R&B. I was finna say, baby, even R&B, about the only motherfucker I've seen that I've never seen him with his kid. I've never seen him next to his kids, but his kids about the only motherfuckers I know that I've seen him with that didn't, you know what I mean, go bad on him.
And you know, God dang well, dude never wanted to be part of your gang. He just got tired of getting beat up, walking up and down the street. So this one right here is a good one.
Compassionate
That's New
Wack.
Testament number 8. Number 9. If your celebrity character is what makes you a street ninja, you have immunity to the rules. Any snitching done prior to your fame is forgiven. See, that's like 6ix9ine. I came up with that one. I mean, shit.
Yeah, we know you came up with that. We know you came up with all this shit. The only one you didn't come up with was the one that was already fucking established. Yeah, we give you entirely full credit for this. We know you have to make a lane for 6ix9ine. We know you have to make a lane for yourself. We know you have to make a lane for Troy Ave, and all the other numerous government cooperatives you've gone to bat for, come forth to represent. I'd argue that this entire street snitch Bible was for Tekashi, was to give him something to stand on, something that he can a list of talking points, justifiable reasons that a motherfucker can be a snitch that would make it okay for why his unjustifiable reason for being a snitch.
I got to give y'all a reason to be a little upset with me. I came up with that one. I'm not putting that one on go. Let me read that New Testament rules of the streets.
Hey, notice I love the Rick Rock on the last episode of Community. That was my first time actually appreciate Rick Rock in a long time. I used to fuck with Rick Rock. Post the Big U shit, I fell off of it. Once I realized that he's essentially like one of Wack 100, like that's one of his premium. That's a part of his premium. What you call that shit? Voices. You know what I mean? Media team. All the Clubhouse 101s, the Ray Gears, all these different channels that Wack is using and utilizing to run this what you call that shit, a flurry of disinformation or misinformation, but it's so much of it that it'll populate so much space to where it must be true type shit. But I say all that to say Rick Rock is like at the top of that list of like, that's not the, you know what I mean, Ray, all them others reaction, like they just replay channels and replaying the shit that he did on Clubhouse and shit. But I only brought that up because I want y'all to notice the tendencies and shit, the performance. I don't know if Wack trying to be like Rick Rock or if Rick Rock when he was performing or when he get to performing like he do, if this is something that Wack taught him how to do it. And there was probably didn't even need to be brought up because I like Rick Rock as I like what he does, but once you get on the side of, you know what I mean, you running with Wack, man, it throws a lot of shit into question, especially when you somebody like that I would think somebody like you wouldn't fuck with somebody like that. But I also give grace for the reality that, man, oftentimes like a real wise motherfucker who will play the enemy that's playing them close, he gonna really play into the friend side so that he can be played in close, so they can, you know what I mean? There's great potential for some shit like that to be going on, but I try not to touch it because I don't know for sure. And if that ain't the case, you know what I mean, then I'm just that much more steadfast or heavy, head fast than how I already feel. But I was only bringing it up to just point out how the tendencies and how when they get to performing like that, how it's similar.
Snitching number 9. If your celebrity status, character is what makes you a street ninja, you have immunity to the rules. Any snitching done prior to your fame is forgiven. And while you the big old celebrity, because you in the booth faking, yeah, I killed the real, pack that steel.
Hold on. This the new rules, but I thought ain't Suge from ain't Snoop, ain't all the motherfuckers who was punk faking and studio gangsters, didn't they all come from the 90s and the 80s? Ain't all these niggas rapping today actual killers and shit? What the fuck are you talking about, Wack? You don't be making no fucking sense. That shit applies to the Old Testament. Now you just trying to revise it and make it make sense. But you can't. Now, don't get me wrong. It ain't that this ain't that it doesn't happen and we haven't seen it. But that's some main shit that was going on in the fucking West Coast. Boy, I'm not gonna say nothing. Time will show all this shit. Wait, just give it time. You see how this shit go. They wait till you praise a motherfucker enough, especially in their old age, before they tell you what type of shit they really was on. Wait till y'all find out how some of these gangsta ass rappers from the 90s was on secret payroll and they or not payroll, excuse me, no, let me say that, but was working in coordination with the police to make sure that motherfuckers from their block got took down. And not just in times past. I'm from Memphis, y'all. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say all that, but let's just say um the Young Mob, there was a vested interest in both Rico acts that they've been under. And I ain't gonna do that. I've spoke on him, but not in the context of that, because I mean time gonna show what dude is. I mean, uh these rappers be the police now, and they been the police. That's the main reason why you in the position you is, cause you motherfucker. If we sign this motherfucker, and he got 30 motherfuckers, they got 30 motherfuckers, they got 30 motherfuckers around them, and all these motherfuckers is criminals and do illegal shit. Bro, you know how much money we finna make? I'm talking about the state. You know how much money we finna make off of locking these motherfuckers up? We finna be, nigga, this the gift they keep on giving. You get a real gangster rapper that got real criminals and felonious, nefarious motherfuckers around them. That's a gold mine to the police. They gonna do everything they can to make sure you don't look like you the reason why these motherfuckers getting picked up. Hey, man. I'm not gonna say free trip star.
You know you's a buster, right? See, that's the problem. The people is taking these people serious. Y'all really hearing what they saying because they saying these things, they watching these movies, or they heard a story in the garage from their relative or something, and they go to the booth and they turn into these people. These are called alter egos. They really civilians. Real street dudes from the Old Testament can identify.
A, you're not a real street dude from the old school. B, you are that. It was a word you just used. What was it?
Real street dudes from the Old Testament egos, they really civilians. Real street dudes.
Yeah, you are. Well, you don't say you're a civilian, but you're very civilian-y. Your life is very civilian adjacent. I mean, again, you came home from prison in the 2000s, and outside of the little the illegal trucking shit that you did, that may be the reason that the feds have had you on the hook for so long. Beyond that pistol case down there in Wheeler, Texas, East Texas, excuse me, West Texas. That's West Texas, but I want y'all to understand something. Texas is a huge state. When it comes to America, bro, it take damn near a day to drive from one side of Texas to the other side of Texas. I'm talking about from what is that, like Beaumont, to drive from Beaumont to El Paso. Nigga, that take damn near a whole day. Wack got picked up. They got stopped in eastern motherfucking west Texas. In West Texas, in the Panhandle, but West Texas, west of it. And he tell us, didn't nobody else say this first? He offered up this to us, and he told us, oh, the Beaumont district, the FBI Beaumont district came and picked me up. The FBI. Bro, that's Beaumont is right before, is right after you come through Louisiana, then you come in Texas for less than an hour or some shit. You go over this big ass tall ass bridge, and you're in Beaumont. Beaumont is on far east Texas. From Tyler, nigga, you gotta pass Dallas. You gotta pass at least two different big FBI jurisdictions where they got facilities and shit at, just to get to Beaumont. Why they needed you in Beaumont? And this ain't some shit a motherfucker made up on you. This what you said out your mouth. They had you in Beaumont. They came out, they brought their ass all the way down there to pick you up took you to Beaumont and then said they not gonna pursue charges.
From the Old Testament can
I don't know what else to say, so I don't know what do you want me to say.
identify these type of people. Okay, that's number 9. Okay, we going to 10. Boy, my bone now, this 10. This is Ghost. If you are conducting legitimate business with the person or persons, and that person or persons involves you in street activity, you have the right to cooperate in any way you see fit. Now, Ghost, you winning your bag.
Now, when we're done with this, I am going to give the one and only condition where it's ever acceptable or acceptable, permissible, or any of that shit to tell on anybody. Once we finish with this, I'm going to give y'all the one and only. And I think most people will agree with me. And if you don't know, just hang around. We almost there. We got a couple more minutes. But I'm going to give you all this bullshit he's saying. I'm going to give you the only one reason, permissible, justifiable reason for you to be for you to tell on somebody. Just hang tight. We almost there.
On this one goes. You winning your bag on this one. I know a few of y'all just pulling up. We got 1,200 people up in here, 1144 to be exact, right? So I do need some of y'all to hit that subscribe button. I should gain at least 300-400 off this one, okay? I know I've been gone, but give me a reason to come back. I wanted to see if
the fuck up.
all right. I
up.
am a prophet. Yeah, I've been
snitch prophet. Get the fuck off. A snitch prophet.
Now, that's number 10.
Hey, you know what? I don't know if that's gonna be something for the law team, but that might be something worth exploring. But it's a delicate thing because motherfucker Speedboat, it'd be delicate because I would only be willing to even look into motherfucker like absolutely closed cases. You know what I mean? And to be real with you, even with closed cases, I prefer to stick to ones where motherfuckers was found innocent of some shit. You know what I mean? Just as I don't want to never do nothing in any way, capacity that could lead in any kind of way to some motherfucker's conviction. You know what I mean? I'll never want to do that. I'll never want to any of my content to have anything to do with that. Yeah, I gone my whole fucking life without doing that. To get on the internet and inadvertently and accidentally do some shit or make some content that would put somebody in a fucked up situation. You know what I mean? But I definitely the concept is severely worth exploring. I would rather explore CB foes of today versus CB foes of yesterday. If you hear what I'm saying. But
if you are conducting legitimate business with the person or persons, and that person or persons involves you in street activity, you have the right to cooperate in any way you see fit. So that means
no, Wack. No, you do not. You do not, man. There's a fundamental aspect of what it means. The same reason why you don't cry when if a motherfucker standing over you and about to blow your brains, that's the same premise as to why you ain't supposed to cry then is the same premise as to why you don't fucking cry in any of these situations that you presented today as to why a motherfucker it's okay for a motherfucker to tell. So you came to terms with death, but you ain't came to terms with jail. Let's go, man.
Means, you know, if you got a warehouse and this is your legitimate warehouse and you fix motorcycles in this warehouse, I don't know why I use motorcycles, but for some reason, the spirit told me to go to motorcycles. And one of your workers, you know, he got 2-3 straps and, you know, an ounce of weed and 9 ounces of dope in a bag hidden in the locker somewhere in the back. and for some reason, something happened to happen, the police come through, and they say, well, could we search, man? They say you got some stolen motorcycles. And you know you ain't got no stolen motorcycles. This is a legal business. Yeah, you can search, bro. They go on the paperwork to all my customers, and they find this work and these guns and this work, this yayo, as we call it, as this Old Testament. They find this yayo. You got the right to say, oh no, that's Jerry. That's Jerry Bag and Jerry Locker. I don't know nothing about that. You brought some street.
You know what? I wonder if this nigga was a jailhouse or was a prison snitch. I just had that thought. Cause you ain't just developed this shit in the free world. This some shit that was in you from a young age. This ain't some shit that just manifests out of nowhere. This type of fuck nigga gotta be deeply seated, deeply rooted in your motherfucking core. That's some, I don't know, man.
Free stuff to my legal business. That's what that rule is saying. Now that's from my brother Ghost came up with that one. The bonus rule, I came up with this one. We can call it Rule 11. And, you know, to all my good people, y'all can go follow me, _the100 show, you know, and DM me.
Before he get to that, I just want to, when he sat down with his team of exposers, or when he sent out the memo, what did he say? Did he say, hey, everybody, I'm putting together the Snitch Bible. I need y'all to write a scripture. Everybody give me 5 of their best reasons or justifications for telling on motherfuckers, and if it's good, we gonna pick the best 11. How did this compose? Cause and then you say you didn't do this by yourself, so it wasn't just you that just sat down and to write the Snitch Bible. You had a team of bullshit ass niggas to sit down and write the Snitch Bible with. What?
You know, go to the post that I got up about this, and you know, give me some more rules that y'all see fit. I go through them because I'm the rule maker with this. I'm writing the Old Testament, the New.
He the rule maker. He write the law on snitching. You heard it. You heard what he said. Did he say that or did I say that? Did he not just say he writes the rules on this shit? He make the laws for this shit. Hell no.
New Testament. Yeah, it took a dude from the Old Testament to write the New Testament. And I think I'm the best because I'm like 3rd generation. Because a lot of them 1st and 2nd generation, shout out to my OGs and my generals. Y'all know who y'all are.
They said, don't you ever say they fucking name on camera. You gotta say y'all know who they are. Nigga, your OGs is the Rampart Division. Your OGs is Lonzo from Training Day. The fuck on.
Call and check on y'all. I salute y'all like I always have. But some of these old dudes that went bad 20, 30 years ago, we can't.
You talking about like the ones that's waiting on you to come back to, what y'all call that shit? Y'all call it some shit. You talking about the motherfuckers that's waiting for you to come back to the 2P so you can get your put off? Missing Marv them. What was the other nigga? I know Missing Marv's name for sure. I don't know the other's name, so I'm not gonna misspeak. But you ain't even accepted over there. And the motherfuckers that you got with you that's from there, they can't go back over there either because of you. I'm not making this up, y'all.
Let them get involved in none of this. 9/11 is gonna affect a lot of you OG dudes. I'm gonna catch some flack about this, but I think y'all gonna agree. If you are found to be gay or down low, admittingly or exposed, you are deemed to be a civilian. All rank you have is to be stripped, and you are awarded your rainbow.
Now, it's not that I'm not in here in defense of the homosexual community or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, but what about all the motherfuckers in the pen just fucking on punks and poking shit up. You know, what about, yeah, I know the penitentiary is filled with motherfuckers that be into some shit they shouldn't be into. And they not no snitches, and they still, outside of the homosexual or the GPS activities, they still live their lives entirely in alignment with what it means to be a gangster. So I'm just trying to understand, especially with this being the New Testament, why wouldn't if that's gonna be the rule, why that wasn't the rule in the Old Testament? Here's the thing. I apologize. My voice keep going out because got some other side shit I'm doing right now. But why the fuck he ain't, if that's if that's a rule, why wouldn't that be in the Old Testament, since that shit been going on since forever. Now, like I said, this one right here, I'm not here to defend. I'm not here to justify. Only thing I'm doing with this one is just drawing a parallel to times past, and how if we was gonna implement that, which, like I say, man, we're not justifying no case for, we're not making no cases for or justification for anybody to be telling. Me personally, I don't make justifications for civilians to tell. You do what you live your life how you want to. I was raised differently. I'm not saying my parents or my grandparents raised me to be no criminals or no shit like that, but the environment and the region, the methods, the morals that was instilled in me, I wasn't raised to be telling. And like I said, my daddy didn't raise me to be in the streets at all. When things happen, when shit played out how it played out, it played out how it played out. But my grandparents, my dad, they wasn't encouraging or wanting the motherfucker to have anything to do with a world of criminality. But outside of any of that, they ain't never raised me to tell on no goddamn body. You get your ass when you're young, y'all. I ain't gonna say it like motherfucker just always get my ass whooped for telling, but I've got my ass whooped in my single digit years, in my early single digit years, for telling, for tattling. You know what I mean? This ain't just some street shit. It's a moral compass, a moral ethics, or a moral aspect of this shit. And then there's the mind your fucking business aspect of it. You mind a motherfucker, you probably heard this shit in your life. Mind your business, you'll live longer. And it seems, I mean, it's plain as day, man. If you really take that to heart, you will live longer. Not to say something else outside of that can't happen to you, but at least you won't die or nothing won't happen to you because you was minding somebody else's business. You'll at least be safe in that regard. I want to get off track. So we can finish this, because I do, like I say, I want to give y'all the only justifiable reason for telling. And we're going to let him finish this bullshit up, and we're going to do that.
Goddamn right. Your water's your rainbow. That's it. And that's giving or receiving. You understand what I'm saying?
All right, three finger whack. Like I say, this last one, I just know that the penitentiaries be filled with gangster motherfuckers. Well, homosexual motherfuckers that still do gangster shit. Or gangster, whatever the fuck you want to call it, however you want to label it. So that really don't make them out as much sense as he wants it to make. And even, well, we don't know anything about that. All we do know is well, we've heard that what Mika said, you like, you know. And if that's what, you know, I'm not gonna psychoanalyze your sex life, my boy. But all right, the only justifiable reason why anyone could ever tell on anything. Y'all ready for this? The only reason that you should tell on somebody, the only justifiable reason for telling on anyone is no fucking reason. What the fuck you thought this shit was? No fuck. Bitch, be accountable for what the fuck you did and mind your goddamn business. Don't put yourself in harm's way. And if you know you not a motherfucker that want to go to prison, don't nobody want to go to prison, but if you know you a motherfucker that can't handle and ain't willing and don't want to go to prison, stay your ass out the way. Don't be around no motherfucker shit you ain't supposed to be around. Don't be listening to shit that to criminal conversations. Don't allow yourself all the plausible deniability you can get for free. That's the best thing you can do. Cause as a civilian, don't let these people sit up here and trick you like can't nothing happen to you for telling like, oh, because you a civilian, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you. I was a kid and I remember old women getting not just like a bunch of them. I remember motherfuckers, elders getting killed for shit that they said or shit that didn't get said, but to make sure that it didn't get said. And you keep sitting up here and playing the game, playing around, motherfuckers talking about, oh, I'm a civilian, I can tell. I'm a civilian, I can tell. Okay. You believe that? You let these people like Wack, who don't have your Wack and Flacco and whoever the academics and all these people that if you really take a closer look at what their content serves to do, you'd realize it doesn't serve to benefit or do any good to anybody that's watching it. So you can take them telling you, justifying this shit for you and put you in a situation you don't deserve to be in. I'm saying that as a civilian. Before we even get into criminality. You sit up there and listen to folks you want to and get your head bust. Or get your son head bust, or get your nephew son head, or get your nephew head bust, or your brother's head bust or some shit. Because okay, all right, okay. You know you a civilian. I can't do shit. How the fuck I can't do shit? And the motherfucker cost me time off my life or some shit, or made this complicated situation for me. I'd have told y'all this shit before. If a motherfucker is willing to kill somebody, what make you think they ain't willing to get rid of a snitch? That's the dumbest shit in the world. A motherfucker who don't mind going to jail, what makes you think that they, in their mind, it's okay for you to tell on them? For you to be the reason, for you to do something that would be harm to a motherfucker. It's telling on a motherfucker, if you do something and say, even if they did it, if you go and tell the truth and that leads to a motherfucker having to go to prison or some shit, nigga, you just harm that person. And so you think because you a civilian, there's instances and conditions where it's susceptible for you to harm a motherfucker? And we talking about this from the perspective of a person who's committing crimes. Harming motherfuckers, shit like that. So you expect, do that even make sense to you? These people are trying to crash you out, man. These people, they don't give a they know that this incites emotion or evokes emotion. But it don't just evoke emotion. That's just where you get your views. So many people to come look at this shit that's happening. Some of these people are internalizing these messages and thinking that it's okay. I don't think that, yeah. You let these people convince you that, oh, they not killing snitches like they used to. And you better look at the fucking murder rate in some of these cities. This shit is real out here. Yeah, some of the people, yes, some of the shit that you see on the internet, some of the mainstays, some of the popular, you might see shit get away with it. It's always been like that. The prisons are not packed because it's a bunch of motherfuckers out here that ain't gonna do nothing. The prisons are packed because people are telling. The murder rate is high because people are dying. Because nothing happened to a rapper that told. Don't let this fucking idiot or any of these fools get on here and convince you that, oh, it's okay. It's okay. You see what happened to them? No. Something terrible can happen. And you won't live to find out. It'll be the people around you. Mind your business, people. Mind your motherfucking business. If you can't hold up for what you do, don't do it. And that's all we got. That's all I got to say on Wack 100. That's all I got to say on Wack 100. Let me see what's going on. No, not that Messy Marv. I'm talking not Messy Marv from the Bay. There's a Messy Wack 100's OG Messy Marv. That's the one I'm talking about. You know what? No, I can't. I ain't gonna do that today. I'm back. I gotta get y'all back on to y'all. Oh yeah. I gotta get y'all on back to y'all regular schedule program, man. I appreciate everybody that done tapped in. Hold on. One second. My outro music. If you haven't already, buy my book, man. It's available on Amazon. It's in the Amazon Kindle Unlimited program right now. So at least for the next maybe 45 days, you could sign up for a trial if you're not already a member and read that motherfucker for free. And after that, you're going to have to pay it. But even outside of that, I ain't charged no arm and a leg. It's $3, $2.99. And I don't know if I've never spoken about what this book is about. This book is based on a true story. It's about a college basketball superstar that was heading to the leagues, and after a big win, he was shot and paralyzed. And the story basically walks through the transformation, my mind's slipping. I can't catch the word right now. The Prometheus is got themes of from a Prometheus where a motherfucker has to go through the fire to be reborn and shit. It's a great book for young adults, especially young athletes. Like I said, I ain't charging but $3. And if you don't want to pay $3, you ain't got to do nothing but join the motherfucking program for free, and you can read that bitch. And if you fucking with it, leave a review. Or if you're not, leave a review anyways. But that's what we doing. And I appreciate everybody for being in this motherfucker. Shout out Piggy, shout out Speedboat, shout out everybody in the chat. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, man. Like the video and get y'all on back on about y'all day. And with that being said, we gone.
Mopwack, what's happening with you? Mopwack,